Good morning. I'm going to make another video today. This one is going to be talking about hair growth again, but more from practical standpoints of dealing with hair breakage and trying to maintain as much growth as you can get. Like I said in my fun facts video, your hair is going to grow approximately ½ inch a month. It's just going to grow out of your scalp no matter what, unless you have like an underlying health condition, anemia. When people say they have low blood or you have low hemoglobin, which would be less than 12 for women, and I think it's like less than 14 for men, I don't remember exactly. And it's really common in the African American population. I don't know why, but if you're anemic, that kind of puts you at risk for having dry, brittle hair that breaks easily. So, follow your doctor's recommendation about, taking your iron supplements and eating foods that are rich in iron, because that will affect the health of your hair as well. Another thing is hypothyroidism. A lot of women, and signs that you would have hypothyroidism would be like gaining weight without really changing your diet. Your skin's really dry, you're tired all the time, and then your hair will be the classic sign for somebody like on a test question or whatever, is the dry, brittle hair that breaks really easily. Okay, so if you have, either of those conditions, I really recommend, talking to a doctor about fixing those, not only for the sake of your hair, because should be the least of your concerns, but having hypothyroidism and having anemia affects your body in other ways as well. Another health thing that can cause your hair to cause problems with hair growth, birth control pills. The hormones can affect the way that your hair grows. I don't know how, but an example would be when someone is pregnant. When they're pregnant, your hair is just growing at a faster rate. It's in the growing phase longer than it normally would be. And then when you have the baby and the hormone levels drop, then you start shedding the hair. Well, somehow the birth control is affecting the hair in a similar way and causing excessive shedding. And it won't be breakage like what you would see with hypothyroidism or anemia. It would be actual shedding where your hair, your scalp, it'll be thinner up there. So those are your health issues too. If you're having problems and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and your hair's still breaking, talk to your doctor, to a dermatologist about that, okay? Now, if you don't have any health problems and you're just a regular healthy person, the first and foremost basic element to keeping your hair as healthy as possible is moisture. Anybody with super curly hair, your hair is going to be dry. Now, some people's hair may be more dry than others, and that's going to depend on how much sebum your scalp makes. Like I said, I have oily skin, so I don't have a problem with my scalp producing oil. Now, sometimes my ends get a little bit dry because it's so much further from the scalp, and then because my hair is really kinky. But it just kind of depends on whether or not you're going to be someone who needs to put oil in their hair or on their scalp or whatever. That's something you're going to have to look into and experiment with. And another thing is your shampoos and your conditioners. It took me a long time to figure out what works for my natural hair versus for my relaxed hair, okay? Because just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for your hair. And you need to be careful not to use the shampoos that have the harsh stripping detergents like the sodium lauryl sulfate. I did use the shampoo for a long time. For example, Care, the moisturizing shampoo. I love that shampoo, but it does have that harsh detergent in it, so I started using the shampoo bars from Chagrin Valley, and I think my hair does a whole lot better with that. Another thing are my conditioners. I'm not one of those people where I have to use things that are all organic, so my favorite conditioners are the Dominican conditioners. I don't know, I know they put like mineral oil and stuff in it, and some people don't, their hair can't deal with mineral oil, or they don't like mineral oil. My hair doesn't care. My hair doesn't care about cones, the silicones and stuff. So I love me some silicone mix. That is that's like crack for my hair. It's a silicone mix conditioner from the Dominican Republic. And I use a lot of moisturizing conditioners, like the cheap stuff, cholesterol and stuff like that. And a lot of my moisturizing products or leave-in conditioners, if you read the bottle, they usually say for extremely dry, damaged, or overprocessed hair. My hair is not extremely dry, damaged, or overprocessed, but my hair does the best when I use as much moisture as possible. Now, some suggestions on moisturizers. Use a really good leave-in conditioner. Pantene has one. Kinky Curly, not today. I use Lacio. I'm going to try Salerm. And I always seal it with an oil, like coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, or some kind of butter like shea butter, avocado butter, helps to seal the moisture in your hair longer. And also use the Comet Biologics products. I use the burdock root cream, buttercream, and I use the olive and honey hydrating balm. I also use the almond olive heavy cream, which is okay, but it's a little bit heavy for my hair. I like products that have water, moisturizing products that have water as the first ingredient. So far we talked about making sure your shampoos and conditioners are moisturizing your hair. Using moisturizers and oils are really important. And another thing is the handling of your hair. I try to do as little combing as possible for my hair. Not only because I hate combing my hair, because I have a lot of it and I don't have a lot of patience. The more natural hair, because of the way that it coils, the hairs are going to wrap around themselves and they're going to snag and they're going to snap. You know, that's what causes most of the breakage, is just the handling of the hair. Always detangle from the ends going up. Some people do better with only detangling their hair when their hair is wet. Some people keep their hair, like, they're natural, but they either keep their hair blow dried or they keep their hair pressed straight because that helps them deal with not getting the little single strand knots and split ends and stuff. So that's another way to deal with, to help maintain your growth. I personally prefer the low manipulation hairstyles. I usually wear my hair in 2-strand twists. I put them in, leave them in for a week, take it down, wash my hair, put them back in, and I just do that because it's just easier for me. And depending on what rotation I am on, if I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm definitely not trying to be combing my hair. I just want to wake up and go. So that's what I do for those styles. Another issue, protein. Some people are protein sensitive and some people need protein, or some people's hair doesn't really care. Alright, my hair does not like protein. I learned that the hard way because I bought some Joico K-Pack Reconstructor conditioner, and I think that I was using it too often and it caused my hair to actually get brittle and break off. So, but then some other people, especially the finer haired ladies, probably need protein, and especially if you use some kind of color in your hair, some kind of dye, or if you're heat styling, if you're using the blow dryer and flat ironing, you probably need to use a protein conditioner every once in a while to kind of reinforce the hair strand and give it some strength. So that's another thing that you can do to maintain your growth, is keeping the hair strong. But I think out of all of the things that I just talked about, the two most important things are the protective hairstyles, which are the low manipulation styles like braids, wearing wigs, sewn-in weaves, those kind of things, wearing your hair pulled in a bun, and moisturizing your hair. Moisturizing your hair will give it kind of a slip so that you won't get those tiny little knots on your hair, or you won't get split ends and stuff. So yeah, moisturizing, protective styling. I don't trim my hair that often either. I might trim my hair every 4 to 6 months or something like that, because if my hair's not damaged, there's no reason to trim it. That's just how my hair works. Some other people, their hair might need to be trimmed more often, you know, or some people that actually never trim their hair, but that's not going to work for my hair because I have to trim off those little knots every once in a while. So that's just my, experience with trying to maintain hair growth. I welcome your comments and any messages or any questions that you might have about specific products or anything like that, or hair tools. That's another thing I forgot to talk about really quick. This is my comb that I use. I got it from hairsense.com. This is the typical wide tooth comb that people get at the Chinese beauty, well, the Korean or Asian beauty supply store. You see how much further apart these teeth are compared to this one? I love this comb, and it's seamless. It doesn't have that little plastic ridge going down it that, causes like little tears and stuff in your hair. It's one piece and it's smooth all the way around. So this is my detangling comb. Alright, and the smallest comb that I ever use in my hair to comb it is this one, and it's not even really that small of a tooth comb, but this is what I use to tangle when I'm doing my 2-strand twist. But I don't comb my hair with anything smaller than this comb right here. Alright, so that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.